I have a 2006 Jetta TDI. I bought it because it wasn't running, even though it would turn over. I brought it home and I changed the fuel filter, and it started right up after 45 seconds of turning the key. And I thought, oh great, I just had to clean or change the filter. So then I licensed it, insured it, took it for a drive, and on my way home, the car just died. It was actually my wife driving it. So I went down, got in, tried starting it, kept turning it over for 45 seconds. At 45 seconds, it fired right up. So I drove it, I don't know, 500 feet down the road, and it died again. I took off this fuel line that goes from the filter to the high pressure pump, and it right away just started sucking fuel back through the line. So I thought, oh, maybe the tank is empty. So I got a container of diesel, took it there, put it in, and it fired right up, and I drove it home. So then at home here, I'm like, well, why, when it shows that it's got half a tank of diesel, why is it dying? So I've come back here, and right now I have gone and taken the fuel filter out. So you just remove this rubber cover here. First, I guess you have to pop the seat out. So you just kind of lift up on the front here and there. And then you can fold it up. And I've got it held up here. So this was so dirty. I couldn't believe how much dirt there was in here. It was actually just dust. Previous owners must have lived on dirt road. But as you can see here, so there is some diesel. It's near the bottom. The reading is showing me a half tank on the dash. So I was just doing some reading and found that, well, I was trying to figure out, okay, what's wrong on the pump here? Why is it at half a tank of fuel? Why is it dying? And I was like, okay, there's the return line here, and it just ends right here. So was that? Where the hoses backwards? They're not backwards. I checked that, and I was looking at, here's the feed line for fuel, this bigger one, and then there's this small one that goes down to the bottom. I thought, well, maybe this small one here is kind of crimped right there. You can see it, and I thought, well, maybe that's the problem. And then I was doing some more reading on forums, and somebody said, well, if there's a problem with the vent and it can't vent properly, and like I noticed that the fuel gets sucked back through the line as soon as I disconnected up there. They said, oh, maybe your tank has imploded. And so I went underneath here, and look at this. The tank is completely imploded. So here's the strap on the bottom, and here's the tank, and it's folded in there. So I only have half a tank of fuel because there's only half a tank of tank. So I don't know if I can just push on it from the inside and pop it back out, and then try to fix this vent or issue that's causing it to have a vacuum. Yes, I guess I'll start with trying to pop the tank back down, and then I will do some more reading on how to fix this vent. But it sounds like my fuel pump is fine, which is great, because I've been looking at how much does a fuel pump cost, and luckily I didn't go buy one because I think it's perfectly fine. When I took out the fuel pump, I noticed that it's kind of bent. I wonder if that's from the tank pulling up on it, holding it in this position over time. I'm not sure. I tried using this pole here, pushing it down into the tank, but I could not bend it out. It's a cool day today. I don't know if I could heat up the tank maybe with a heat gun or a car heater. Yeah. The heat gun was not a big enough area to really heat the whole tank. It wasn't even getting slightly warm. So now I've got a heat lamp, and I will also heat over on this side more where I'm not getting a lot of heat. Try to get a nice even warmth. Putting the tank down inside wasn't working, so I've got a new plan. I know that which one's the return? This one's the return. So I'm building up some pressure in the air compressor right now. I've got the tank heating with that heat lamp, it is flexible when I was pushing on it. So I'm gonna block off this outlet with my finger and then put some air pressure in there. That's just a pipe that goes in to the tank. So I hope this is okay for it. I hope I don't wreck anything as far as the pump goes, but I'm just gonna put some air pressure on there and see what happens. I'm not gonna be able, I don't have a tripod with me, so I'm not gonna be able to do this, and I really do wanna plug that with my finger before I start this. So I'm gonna turn this off and see what happens. I'm gonna put a little bit of air in there. I know this inlet one just goes straight through to a pipe that goes inside here, so we'll see. So it's interesting, it's popping out like it's rising. So that's not exactly what I want. I really want it to push out the bottom, not the top. This doesn't blow up. Oh, I just heard something. Oh, it just jumped down. I think that's actually working. I should go check underneath. There must be a one-way valve in here. I just saw a clear pipe going down when I had it apart. Oh, I can see air hissing out of here. Oh, let's see. We're getting down here. Oh, it popped out. Oh my gosh. So this part here still looks like it's a little bit up, but the majority of the tank has popped down. It's lucky I moved the heat lamp for the most part out of the way. Why did the heat lamp turn off? Uh-oh. Oh, I hope I didn't wreck it. Oh, it's kind of stuck in there a little bit. I have to pop off these wires to get it out. But that totally popped it down. Yes. I could compare it to the other Jetta to see if this is okay or not. This is kind of cool. I could add a little bit of heat here and then see about maybe popping that. But I had no idea that return has a check valve on it. I guess maybe it makes sense. I thought it was just a pipe when I looked at it before. I can see bubbles here of fuel, so there is a bit of a leak with all this pressure coming out there. But go up here to this non-diesel cap. This is, you can hear this collapsing down. Let's check the tank. It's still bulged down. That totally did it. Oh my gosh. So if somebody runs into this problem, all they really have to do is possibly remove those fuel lines from the fuel pump, or just put their air compressor nozzle with a towel around it or cloth or something, a rag, and just put some air pressure in here. That would be your solution, and then get a correct cap. I just siphoned out as much debris as I could with this piece of hose here, and it is pretty dirty. Oh, you can't see it. Yeah, there's a lot of debris in there. I don't know if that's just the 328,000 kilometers of usage, or if that's just from me opening it up just now. All right, so we'll put the fuel pump back in, add some diesel, and see what we get.